The Premier admits one of her staff was at a controversial meeting.
There was no way for him to know that this data was illegal.
The UCP and NDP clash at the legislature over the voters' data breach. Plus, a fatal assault in Woodlands.
There's 4 of them, but the 2 were, really arguing.
Neighbors are left shaken and concerned. And could this be North America's next junior ranger?
It's a hummingbird that is almost the size of a bee, and its nest is as big as a golf ball.
5-year-old Jack Lanstra has a passion for the outdoors and needs our votes for a big contest.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Jacqueline Wilson.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Premier Danielle Smith is facing some tough questions again today over Alberta's massive privacy breach. She admits that a United Conservative Party caucus staffer attended an online meeting where the Alberta voter list was shown. The depth of the information shared and the apparent potential harm it could create, sending shockwaves all the way to Ottawa. Tim Brooke reports.
On April 16th, UCP Caucus Director of Stakeholder Relations Arundeep Sandhu attended this online meeting. In the meeting, participants were shown how to use a digital tool containing the personal information of 3 million Alberta voters.
The Premier has created an office culture where it's either okay to be incompetent and not know that's a problem, or to be so deeply unethical and not care. So, Premier, which is it?
Here, here.
The Premier argues Sandhu had a perfectly good reason to listen to the Centurion Project and to not report the data leak.
The person in question is a caucus staff member who does opposition research. He actually goes to a lot of events. There was no way for him to know that this data was illegal. That was not disclosed in the call.
Sandhu has ignored CTV News calls for comment. His attendance is now being scrutinized inside and outside of Alberta.
Well, it certainly threw my eyebrows to the ceiling, and I guess we're going to have to see what comes out of all of that.
We're receiving numerous calls about the matter, and we certainly are following what's going on in the media, and we're paying close attention. And if we should have some information available tomorrow about the work our office is doing in this regard.
Alberta's Privacy Commissioner is paying attention, but she's expressed some skepticism as to whether she has jurisdiction here.
If you look at a place like BC where they have more powers to investigate political parties, I think that could be a really good thing here.
There are calls for other change, too. The elector list legally belonged to the Republican Party of Alberta, but it illegally ended up with the Centurion Project. Some wonder why a fringe party had access in the first place, though don't expect that rule to be shifted anytime soon.
Having a list of electors is essential for democracy because it levels the playing field for smaller parties if you're trying to compete with the big juggernaut parties.
Tim Brooke, CTV News, Calgary.
The situation is being investigated by Elections Alberta and the RCMP. Well, we are learning more about a boy who drowned in Mahogany Lake on Sunday night. The 12-year-old was new to Canada, his family arriving in search of a better life, and he was laid to rest today. Tyson Fedor reports.
12-year-old Demilola Afolabi was a joyful young boy looking to become friends with everyone he met. His smile was a light to all those who knew him.
Dami is my third born. He's a good guy.
The Afolabi family laid Dami to rest at the Muslim cemetery of Calgary on Wednesday. The family immigrated to Canada at the end of March from Ghana.
Came in here, they had no one, and all of us here were like angels that came in their lives to see how best we can help them migrate into the best place to live and work, which is Calgary.
Dami was playing basketball with friends on Sunday before he jumped into the water off the dock at Mahogany Lake, but he failed to resurface. He did not know how to swim.
On Sunday, my son just came from the church and he said, "You want to play a little at the front of the house?" That's the end. I'll never see my son again. When I see my son, I saw his body light now.
The Afolabi family moved to Calgary in search of a better life.
When we were about to leave Ghana, Daddy said, "Daddy, me, thank you for the good life you are going to give us in Canada. I didn't know that my son would never be with me at this moment anymore."
Dami had 3 siblings. His younger sister keeps asking for him.
The sister calls him Da. Da, the little sister who's just a few years old, Dami changes her diapers and everything. He was asking, "Where is Da?"
This recent death has sparked calls for improved safety at the lake. Firefighters found the boy under 6 meters of water.
It does beg a bigger question, though, in terms of the type of support and infrastructure and equipment we provide for our Calgary Police and Calgary Fire Department.
As for the family, they are left reeling with grief, a father left to carry on with the memory of a lost son.
I wish my son should be the one to bury me. I don't know that way around.
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Calgary.
A crowdfunding campaign has been launched to help the family. There have been 5 drowning deaths in Mahogany Lake since 2013. Well, a 73-year-old man died in a crash on the Trans-Canada Highway east of Calgary today. A car and truck collided just east of Chestermere about 8 a.m. Mounties say the man driving one of the vehicles died at the scene. A 19-year-old woman driving the other vehicle was treated for her injuries in hospital. Police are looking into how it happened. And firefighters had to cut the roof off of a vehicle after a crash this morning near Seaton. A car and an SUV crashed at the intersection of Seaton Drive and 52nd Street Southeast just before 8 a.m. One person was injured and unable to get out, so a rescue truck was called in to remove the roof, and crews started planning what they needed to do next.
By communicating that between the officers, the rescue crew knew exactly what was going to happen when they arrived on scene. They can just get the tools into the hands of the firefighters, and that's why the extrication happened so quickly.
The patient was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Several people were assessed at the scene, but nobody else was seriously hurt. Police are investigating. Well, homicide detectives are investigating a death in the southwest community of Woodlands. Police say it was targeted, but some residents are concerned about recent incidents in the neighborhood where they used to feel safe. Alicia Fieldberg reports.
Police tape surrounded several homes and businesses in Woodlands Wednesday morning where police are investigating a homicide. Officers arrived around 5:40 a.m. and say one person died after an early morning fight.
When we arrived, we located a single individual who was deceased as a result of that assault.
Police taped off the road from Woodhill Court to Wood Park Boulevard and a nearby strip mall where officers collected evidence in the back alley next to a home. The person who lives there didn't hear the fight, first realizing something had happened when she saw emergency crews and the victim near her front lawn.
You could see the body covered in the EMS, and you could clearly see that they had tried to do some life-saving measures. Really unfortunate. I really feel for the victim and for his family.
One neighbor who lives across the street looked out her window around 5 a.m. when she heard yelling, one person claiming another did something to their brother.
There's 4 of them, but the 2 were, really arguing. And then it just I went back to bed and I heard them a little bit, but then it kind of faded. When we came up this morning, like I said, it's very upsetting because somebody's lost their kid today.
You can see people were moving.
Security video shows what appeared to be flashlights in that alley around 4 in the morning. The owner of a vape shop in the strip mall has had cameras up since opening 2 years ago, but added security measures to his store due to other recent incidents.
They probably circulated with a gun before. They break into the pub.
Police believe Wednesday's death was a targeted attack, but some residents are still shaken.
It's kind of scary when it happens right across the street from your house.
Some people who live on the street say it's a safe neighborhood.
Individual dispute that happened.
But others say there has been a recent shift.
Over the years, we've seen a lot more crime, a lot of theft, tire slashing.
Detectives continue to investigate what led to the death. The autopsy of the victim is scheduled for Thursday morning. Alicia Fieldberg, CTV News, Calgary.
An audio recording of the 2024 911 call following a fatal shooting east of Conrich has been obtained by CTV. The call is from Matthew Andres, who was doing roadside surveying work when he was shot in the arm in an attempted carjacking. Andres ran for his life, and the 2 accused, Arthur Penner and Blake Strawberry, lit their own car on fire before attempting to flee in Andres' vehicle. The truck became stuck, so Penner and Strawberry attempted another carjacking on 45-year-old Colin Huff. Huff was fatally shot 3 times.
I've been shot in the arm.
Okay, is anybody else shot?
Yes.
How many people?
And the gunman also shot him.
Penner and Strawberry are charged with second-degree murder and attempted murder. They've pled not guilty. Downtown Calgary business owners are raising the alarm after a string of alleyway and dumpster fires in the city's core. Some say the incidents are becoming more frequent, leaving behind property damage, smoke damage, and growing concerns about safety. Mark Villani has more on how the city is responding.
Caught on video, this man seen here is lighting cardboard on fire as flames flicker from the dumpsters at Bottle Screw Bill's pub on 10th Avenue. Management says it's sadly becoming a more frequent occurrence.
3 times in the last 6 weeks.
And it's not just dumpsters. People are lighting debris on fire along the nearby train tracks.
It's frightening. We're getting pretty angry and upset about the lack of interest and focus that we're getting from people that could help us.
Calgary fire crews responded to more than 700 garbage fires last year, averaging about 37 each month.
These fires can escalate very quickly, often turn in, a dumpster fire into a building fire, which puts people and our members at risk.
But Calgary's Downtown Association says it's making progress. More than 24 bins from alleyways in the core were removed, and its Ladybug Truck initiative aimed to clean the area. As part of this work, we've recommended local businesses remove pallets or easily flammable materials from their alleys. While it's unfortunate that incidents do happen, we've been pleased at the reduction in frequency of occurrences since removing bins.
We have not noticed an increase in response in any way, shape, or form.
This is the aftermath of a fire lit in the Stephen Avenue alleyway. Leslie Aquino says it caused smoke damage to her restaurant and that the city isn't taking her concerns seriously.
And that means safety, security, patrolling, lighting. These are pretty simple asks that we've been doing for the last year and a half.
Hanif Mulji agrees. He's owned Downtown Drug Mart for almost 40 years and worries his entire building could quite literally go up in flames.
I have noticed an increase in the last few years. Something like this can cause harm, to anybody, right? I mean, fire is dangerous.
But as fires continue to occur, the city says it still has work to do.
Make sure that we provide better safety, better lighting, removing the problem spots where we are seeing some of this social disorder.
We'd like to, see some results or hear that someone's arrested or at least that they're trying.
Mark Villani, CTV News, Calgary.
Well, and fire crews put out a blaze in an apartment complex in the 1000 block of 5th Avenue Southwest this evening. It started on the balcony of a unit on the 3rd floor and it spread inside, but not to other suites. One person was assessed by paramedics for smoke inhalation on scene. A little bit of a mixed bag. Today I feel like we saw some sunshine, and then as I was looking at our office, I saw the clouds rolling in. What's up for tomorrow?
Yeah, similar idea for tomorrow. So a good amount of sunshine for most of the day, and then after 2 in the afternoon, you'll likely notice the clouds increasing once again. And we do have the potential for late day showers, especially around those supper hours. There is even the small chance of a non-severe thunderstorm as well. All right, 11 degrees to kick off the day, went off to work and school, and a high of at least 20 in the afternoon. And there's more warmth to come. I'll show you that in the longer range just ahead.
Okay, thanks, Danielle. Forest Lawn residents are celebrating after a home in the neighborhood has been shut down by Alberta sheriffs. We'll have the reason after the break.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
A Calgary criminal defense lawyer is charged with several sex child offenses. Police arrested 46-year-old Jordan Bonner on April 30th. He's accused of using Snapchat to engage in sexually explicit conversations with children between the ages of 11 and 15. Bonner's charged with making, possessing, and sharing child sexual exploitation materials. Police searched his home and office and say their investigation is ongoing while they conduct a forensic analysis of his electronic devices. He will appear in court tomorrow. And more victims have come forward in an ongoing sex assault investigation in Calgary and Edmonton targeting dating apps. Last April, a woman told Edmonton police she was drugged and sexually assaulted by a man after meeting him on a dating app. 56-year-old William McMillan was charged in March and is now in jail. Police say 8 more women have come forward and additional sex assault charges have been laid. A problem home in Forest Lawn has been shut down and 14 people were kicked out after the latest public disturbance. It's a big relief for people who are living nearby. Tyler Barrow has more.
Forest Lawn residents are celebrating. A home in the neighborhood has been shut down by Alberta sheriffs.
It's a big relief, big relief.
Definitely nice to see something be done.
14 people were living in the 8-bedroom home. Sheriffs say 2 people living here died from suspected overdoses in recent years. During the 9-month investigation, authorities say there was steady foot traffic at all hours. People coming and going appeared heavily intoxicated, and it appeared drug use and drug trafficking was happening here.
In September 2025, Calgary police officers conducted a search warrant at the property where they located weapons, drug paraphernalia, and drugs inside.
Last year, police came to the house 75 times. The investigation was initiated after community members made complaints.
The landlord constantly coming by at night, really weird times, just kind of random behavior. But it started to become a pattern.
The same landlord had another home shut down in December, which was just a few blocks away. The property will be boarded up and fenced off for 90 days. Probationary measures will be in place for an additional 2 years. For community members, it brings a sense of safety.
A lot safer, because I was not safe, didn't feel safe here or in my backyard.
The neighborhood will be quieter, less traffic.
Prior to the closure of the home, authorities did work with the 14 individuals to find them alternative housing. Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Calgary.
Calgary-based Suncor is increasing production of jet fuel in response to the worldwide shortage. The energy giant released its quarterly financial report today. It says its refinery in Montreal started producing jet fuel in December with the hopes of selling it to local airports. The crisis in the Middle East has led to a shortage of jet fuel, and now Suncor is exporting to markets in Europe and the Caribbean. It's also increased its exports of diesel fuel from its port in Vancouver. All right, stay with us. Danielle Smith is along next with her Skywatch weather forecast.
Well, today was pretty fantastic. We got to a high of 22 in the city. Most communities in southern Alberta got into those lower 20s today, which is well above normal. Calgary, a normal daytime high for this time of year is 15 degrees. By 2 p.m., the clouds started rolling in. The winds picked up a little bit as well. Here's a look, though, at maximum gusts for today. Around that 30 mark for Calgary, Brooks, up through Red Deer and Banff. A little gustier in Pincher Creek, 57 kilometers per hour. Tomorrow, anywhere from 40 to 50 kilometer per hour gusts, especially in the afternoon, possible in all of southern Alberta, Calgary included in that. And while today we had the clouds start to creep on in around 2 in the afternoon, same idea for tomorrow. And this late day instability that we had, same idea for tomorrow as well. So a really nice day, and then, a little bit of activity by the supper hours. All right, so overnight we could see a little sprinkle in Calgary, but it's nothing really significant. For the morning hours, mainly sunny skies in the city to the south, Lethbridge and over around Pincher Creek, chance of some morning showers. Then later in the day, you can see that pop-up activity here. So it will be isolated showers that will develop right along the mountains and then track over. So QE2 down towards Calgary and down Highway 2, likely to see some isolated showers. And in the far south, Pincher Creek over to Lethbridge, even greater chance of seeing a non-severe thunderstorm as well later in the day. All right, Friday's fairly stable, just some cloud cover at times and some sunny breaks. And then Saturday morning will likely kick off with some isolated showers, but it will be brief and it will move out fast, as you can see here. All right, so the long-range forecast overall, and being very conservative with my numbers, at least 20 degrees for Thursday and Friday. We'll likely get a little higher than that. Again, sunshine for much of the day, and then by the supper hours, we get into the chance of showers or a non-severe thunderstorm. Non-severe meaning lightning, a decent downpour, and potentially even small-size hail, pea-size hail. All right, Friday, just a mix of sun and cloud. Saturday, showers to kick off the day really early in the morning, and that's out by about 9:30 and a high of 19. So many days as we head through the next 10 days will be in those lower 20s for daytime highs. So we have a lot of warmth in store for us for the longer range forecast. As you can see here, the coldest daytime high that we're going to get is to kick off next week, and that's still 18 degrees and above normal.
Okay, thanks, Danielle. Well, the headliner for this year's Grandstand show has been announced. The Alberta band that's bringing Western grit and glamour to life next. The Stampede says that the Grandstand show this July will feature Western grit and glamour.
It's all right, ain't worried about nothing. Sun came up and the river's still running.
Alberta's own High Valley will headline the show that will run from July 3rd to the 12th at Jim C. Stadium after the Chuck Wagon races. The Young Canadians and the Grandstand band will remain at the heart of the show. Tickets are on sale now. Well, a Calgary kindergarten student is hoping his love of nature can propel him to become North America's next junior ranger. Jack Landstra is currently sitting in second place in the contest, and he needs every vote he can muster. Kevin Green caught up with him this morning, hiking through a park in southwest Calgary.
In Griffith Woods Park in southwest Calgary, 5-year-old Jack Landstra moves quickly through the trees, climbing logs, searching for insects, and talking excitedly about animals, forests, and why he loves being outside. These days, he's learning about bee hummingbirds.
It's a hummingbird that is almost the size of a bee, and its nest is as big as a golf ball. And its eggs are the size of a coffee bean.
Jack also protects the natural spaces he loves, stopping to clean up garbage during walks in the woods.
Me and my grandma were walking, and then when we were walking, we decided to get a garbage bag. So we got a garbage bag and then went for a walk. And we got lots of garbage, that big tire.
Jack is currently in second place across North America in the National Wildlife Federation's Junior Ranger competition. The program, hosted by wildlife expert Jeff Corwin, encourages kids to learn about conservation and protecting the natural world.
So we told him, not about the competition, but that there was a chance to be part of a group of kids around the world who care about protecting nature and the wild spaces, and he got really excited about that.
Jack's mom says his love of nature started early and says he feels most at home outside, reminding his family to slow down and enjoy the forest around them. Jack says for him, the forest is also a keeper of family memories.
I think about my grandpa because he liked trees, and then my mom liked trees, and then I liked trees.
The winner of the Junior Ranger competition receives a cash prize, a feature in Ranger Rick magazine, and an expedition with Jeff Corwin. Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
Well, voting in the competition continues until tomorrow. So if you'd like to cast a ballot for Jack, we have a link that's posted on our website. And good luck to him. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful night.